8:18 p.m., March 29th, 2023.
Episode 975.
But yeah, dude, my name is Jonathan and this is Seth.
Jonathan, I just checked my VTech landline and it tells me it's 8:19.
But
okay.
What is that using as a reference?
International Meridian Green Standard.
8:19 according to my phone,
okay,
which is connected
so look at
to
that.
the internet, which means my timepiece, my tool,
Little off.
is maybe not calibrated entirely correctly.
I'm going to get you to my guy.
No.
I got
Would
a guy.
that mean a guy like me maybe sets his shit a little ahead of time because he keeps them going maybe a little bit?
I like what you're doing.
But he makes a point of not only doing that, but erasing the fact that he did that from his mind so that he wholeheartedly believes
he's
that
only
is the time.
10 minutes late instead of 15 minutes
25 to 45 as opposed to an hour.
Have we
ever done
We've been doing the show for a
LSD
long
together?
time. We have yet to do that.
Episode 1000 maybe?
Maybe let's
Just drop a tab, split a tab, half each.
I would say,
Shrooms?
yeah, if we were going to do a psychedelic, that might be
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to drop acid with you or drop acid period.
like, yeah, right now.
But right off the gate, out of the gate, I would say that might be a bit much no matter what. So
but my shrooms ain't these 2.0, these kid shrooms
take a
and
little
hazelnut
heroic
chocolate.
dose?
No,
Heroic
yeah,
dose.
go right into the bag. And
7 grams.
They ain't none of that bullshit. Been doing the show for over 17 years.
Yes, sir.
We ever talk about Wayne
Gretzky.
Simonovich, who has a company? It's basically, we're talking about Huggable security. What does that mean? That's what that means. That's a personal companion, a Simonovich trained German Shepherd. This German Shepherd can sense danger better than any video surveillance system, run faster and farther than any old intruder, and unlike a weapon, it can never fall into the, quote, wrong hands. And it can easily distinguish between a foe and a family member, even in the dark. It's the security device you want your kids to play with. It's Huggable security. Loyal live-in protection for your family, your lifestyle, and your peace of mind. Each one of these Wayne Simonovich trained German Shepherds is from the finest European working lines, trained by a world champion, delivered to your door. For more information, which I looked up, well, I found there's only 3 Yelp reviews. 1-star reviews. It says it can distinguish between family and foe, but some guy had like a buddy over and it like ate him.
Because he wasn't a good
Maybe he was trying to tell him this. You don't want to hang with this guy.
Bad people.
Bad mojo. I'm going to eat him for you. Ah!
Well, what about a plumber? What is a plumber? What category does a plumber?
like a
HVAC
smell
man.
good plumber.
What does he go at?
Friend or foe?
What do we got? He's gonna have to decide.
We've gone through 4 plumbers.
We're trying to find a good one, a friendly one. I mean,
Because
not a foe-y
Gunther has
one.
eaten 4 of our plumbers.
What are the? Well, yeah, okay.
Well, one
Tell
of
me
them,
more.
person, $20,000. They're like, I'm out $20,000.
Out 20 grand.
I spent $20,000 on this dog.
on this bloodthirsty animal.
It's pissing and shitting all over the house, but it doesn't say anything about that.
It doesn't say.
It's supposed to stop an intruder,
Huggable.
a huggable intruder. Don't worry about it's fucking about where it's going to the bathroom.
Where is this
Worry
person
about protecting you.
based?
This guy's in North Carolina. He's got a big plot of land in North Carolina, and these dogs. Well,
why are we talking about this one in particular? Where does he?
I don't know.
Does it show up a lot? Have you seen it a lot?
It's in my Cowboys and Indians magazine. So, but I'm like, have we ever talked about Wayne Simonovich? But then I was looking at the Yelp reviews and they're kind of recent. And I'm like, I don't think so. But one person said, our family, we spent 20 G's to get this Huggable security. And it's like, there's a dump on all of our pillows, bedroom pillows, couch pillows.
I mean, German Shepherds take.
Is that it?
Yeah, like human-sized dumps.
You gotta anticipate that because it's not about that. You can handle that cleanup. You want to clean up your family?
Or you want
what
to
do
clean up
what do you
blood?
want to clean up?
You
want to clean up the
your
blood of all
family's
your
blood?
children?
Or a couple
this
of
dog's dumped once a day,
pillow
2 times a day
dookies.
on your pillows.
It's a gift.
Or your whole family slaughtered on
He's
Thanksgiving.
doing it because he respects you.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Just to let you know, I love you. This is your pillow, right? Huggable security. You don't want this. A gun can get... You can't have a gun in the house. You have kids. This understands family, friend, foe.
Supposedly.
Except the college roommate that came over. That was like destroyed.
Hadn't seen him in 10 years.
Seen him.
He took his face.
Yeah.
I have always had this. Somebody told me when I was a kid that
Prophecy?
German Shepherds.
Okay.
Because I was like dog crazy from a pretty young age and still
Always
am.
loved.
I always have loved canine companionship. And somebody told me when I was maybe 8 or 9 years old.
Is this a peer or an adult?
This was an older person, an adult, that they told me a story of a person's family German Shepherd that was like the most loyal, all of a sudden popped a blood vessel in its brain.
What?
Turned on the family and like took the mom down or something like that.
What?
And in the story told me that this was a genetic hereditary thing that German Shepherds had.
I mean, have you looked that up?
We might have to because it's marred my
You've
impression.
always wanted a German Shepherd.
I love German Shepherds, but I am also
have
this deep-seated like
at
childhood
the dog park, you always
fear of
put
them.
your arm around Marissa. You were like, that's a blood clot. It's a little known Simonovich trained. Don't worry about it. That's probably not true.
It can't be.
Because you know what happens? Like, think of all the wrong things that adults are always saying. Well, and when you're a kid, you're really listening because you think like, back then before the internet?
Holy shit.
Oh, I got in the Encyclopedia Britannica. They got a blood clot. Yeah, because a lot of hearsay.
It's a blood vessel in the brain pops.
But listen, when you're a kid, you listen to adults because you want to be smart like an adult. So you just think, this person's big and tall. They're telling me the truth. When in fact, not a trait, not a thing. And think of, you could have had a German Shepherd to protect you.
Well, this is a stupid thing to look up right now. Let's talk about something else.
I'm going to call, well, Wayne, I don't know, because those are 3 1-star Yelp reviews. I'm going to talk
but all 3 are recent.
Within the last 3 years.
And all saying.
One was just, it ate my college roommate. One was, we're out 20 G's. The other, it like dumped everywhere. Don't listen. I mean, a gun don't take shits. That's what they wrote in the Yelp review. My Glock don't take shits on my pillow.
Take shits on these ops.
On these intruders. I mean, seriously. What's a nest or ring gonna do when you got Gunther just waiting? You can imagine hearing Gunther behind the door. You're not going into that. You know, like a club on the car is like a visual deterrent.
Instinctually, what's scarier to you? Jumping over a junkyard fence at night.
Okay.
And all of a sudden you hear grr and you look up and you see a German Shepherd.
But you don't even see it because you can't see shit. They can see you.
Or what about a Doberman? Do Dobermans scare you?
I think German Shepherds, right? Because you imagine them, you always see the videos of the trainers wearing those big arms and they always run at those arms.
They get those arms.
They get those arms good.
Harper's Index portion of parents who feel that their partner judges their parenting ability.
Their lover, their partner.
Half.
Judges their parenting ability.
Aren't you just perpetually doing that?
All we do is judge everything anyway. So I would imagine in an interpersonal relationship as such.
Like constantly?
Like, that's how. Oh,
really?
Oh, so that's how we respond to Evelyn now. Oh, that's how we respond to Evelyn now. Interesting. That's how you respond to Evelyn now.
We were letting her eat that anymore.
Interesting. So cotton candy is for breakfast now for Evelyn. Papa. I don't know why it's probably is it really just the
half?
It's half.
You know what half of that is. It's
these days. Come on.
Half.
These dads are doing a good job.
The male half.
They're doing a good job.
That's a cheeky Harper's Index.
That's just half. Get it?
Yeah.
What if it's a same-sex couple? Then that's when it gets juicy. Because it's up. It's like, we don't know. Who could it be? Could it be? Is that how you were raised? Unbelievable.
Can't believe it.
Can't believe you. Oh, so we stay up all night now. Is that what we do?
Watch movies.
Oh, we watch movies on TCM.
Naughty movies.
Oh, interesting.
Not those kind of naughty.
Okay.
Just,
So our 7-year-old's watching 2001 on TCM at midnight.
What time is it? Yeah.
That's appropriate. Okay. But it's a lot of judging because it's quiet judging, even if you're not saying anything.
what would be
Because you're just doing your best.
So just instead of judgment, what are we supposed to do? Just observe.
Observe and hold the contempt. Just let it boil.
No, we're just supposed to just not.
Don't look. Look away.
Just
you don't want to see it.
Don't watch.
You don't want to know what they're watching. Don't walk in there. If you don't want to know the rating on the movie, just don't find out what they're watching. Really? Huh. Interesting. Hot Cheetos and Takis now. That's breakfast.
So I think you would definitely limit your child's exposure to things, right? You would try to control that, you would think?
I don't know. I would probably read a lot of books and talk to a lot of people and be like, what are you supposed to do? And then wing it? I don't know. I don't know.
I have absolutely no fucking idea.
It's amazing how
I would play that. I might just be like, you're on your fucking own. You're gonna make sense of this better than I will.
I don't know. The oven, be careful. I can't.
Well, that I can teach you how to, roll like a mediocre joint. Like I have a few essential knots that I know how to tie.
Essential oils and essential knots I can teach you about.
Basic open chords on guitar I've got covered.
Basic tarot.
Like broad
stroke.
tarot. Yeah.
Broad tarot.
Yeah. I mean,
that's my website.
Really just
broad
the gist.
Tarot.
Tarot gist.
The gist. But I think that's enough for you.
Right now.
5-year-old child.
Right. For now.
I taught my 5-year-old essential oils, essential joint rolling, basic tarot.
Man, what would I give if I had a kid that I knew I wasn't going to live to be able to
graduate high school?
Yeah. If I had to
So if you had a kid now.
My time.
So go on. So if you would have a kid, go on.
From this point forward.
Go on.
Any child you have henceforth.
So 975 on, go on.
But if I had to put like a
you did
little
do
time
a video,
capsule,
a little video,
like
hey,
actually put shit, like a care package, like you are going to open a thing full of stuff from me at some point. And with that, yes, the video
You'd
message.
be like, Ozymandias, Laraket, I know tonight is your high school graduation.
Ozymandias.
And I loved you.
I loved you.
You know I loved you. I had to flee.
You knew I had to flee.
You knew I had to flee. I had to roam. I love you.
I wouldn't. I didn't
you wouldn't leave them. Okay. That you're leaving them.
I'm dying.
My bad. Oh,
I'm going off
to another. Well, who knows?
Space, maybe a space mission.
Maybe a mission. Maybe a mission to Mars.
No, I'm not just
after. That you're like,
here's a time capsule. I gotta roam.
I gotta get to the woods of Oregon.
Around.
I'll see.
No, this is.
Maybe I'll catch you at a dispensary.
This is
the future. This is.
I'm doing this thinking I'm never gonna get to see you again.
See Ozymandias again because I'm on a space mission.
I died on a space.
It's a mission. That's what we'll tell him, honey. Just tell him that.
He just actually.
Daddy went on a space mission.
Just needed to roam.
And then he'll just like Google your name and be like, no, he didn't.
He's in Cleveland.
He works at a dispensary in Cleveland. That's my dad.
It's called Rome Dispensary.
Yeah. Shit. Fuck.
Bald eagles have long congregated in winter along waterways in the northwest corner of Washington state, taking advantage of the abundant food as chum salmon spawned, died and were washed on.
It's fucking good living.
Died and were washed onto stream banks, but climate change is forcing the eagles to adapt. Now those dead salmon are mostly gone, literally swept away by the effects of climate change. But the apex predators have pivoted to an in-farm dining. But not for nothing do we use eagle-eyed to mean observant. With fewer salmon to eat, the eagles looked around for other food and found it in the rich dairy farms of western Washington and southern British Columbia in Canada. Dairy cattle are always giving birth. meaning local farmers always had placentas and stillborn calves to dispose of. When they put them out of their into their fields, the eagles discovered a new feasting area. The dismantling of a carcass occurs in about 48 hours between coyotes coming in at night and eagles during the day, said Karen Steensma, an author of the paper and professor of biology at Trinity Western University in Langley, BC. It's a win-win for the local dairies, which have less waste to either compost or have hauled away. Didn't know you could compost carcass. In addition, the eagles deter and eat birds and rodents that might come in and contaminate or eat feed stores.
Look at this. The circle
paper
of life.
published in the journal Ecosphere. It is a circle.
Used to
of
dine
types.
on that delicious salmon. Now you on that cow placenta. It's a different, I mean, but we don't know. If you have a species that's only been eating one thing, we don't know what the ramifications can be to mix, you're pescatarian for all of time. And now you're just like calling everybody over, getting the whole crew in for cow placenta.
I've watched.
I
watched this exact thing transpire
in real life.
Yeah, I've told this story on the show. I was late for a ferry. You're
in the PNW?
I was on Vancouver Island.
Oh, the islands.
And I was late for a ferry.
Because you hadn't had the watch. You had to set it ahead.
And I missed it and waited at the docks. Which also didn't work out. I wound up having to get out of there and do something else.
Were you alone?
I was alone. I had
give you time to think. It's cold.
Jogger was on the road opening for Charlotte Gainsbourg, and Amir was playing in Charlotte's group at that point. Beck, I think, had produced the record. Amir played on it, and we were opening for her on a few dates. And for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, Jogger was allowed to go and open, but the give was I just had to make my own way because they were on like a little like tour van or sprinter or whatever the fuck, and they went on after
meet us at the show.
So
don't be late.
We played on the island that night before, so they had taken off in the morning. I slept in, missed my ferry, and needed to make it to...
Hey, that's a rock and roll lifestyle. I mean, you can't... What do you want?
Yeah. So, as I'm waiting there, panicking...
Worst feeling in the world.
While watching my
musical career.
Yeah, go down the tubes.
Yeah.
Figuring out how I'm going to rectify the situation, because we are talking about being stuck on an island in which I need to be back I need to be somewhere that night playing another show with them.
On mainland.
On mainland. Fuck, man, I forgot about this. So I'm sitting at the dock and I'm like looking at the time of the next ferry, and I'm calculating in my mind, if I get on that one, get to Vancouver, get on a plane, take that plane to wherever we were going the next night, which must have been Seattle, might have been San Francisco.
This is making me sick to my stomach.
Oh, you have no idea. I mean, imagine, because me, and at that time in my life, I am like so not about like
time.
And I am like freaking out at this point. So I'm smoking out on this empty dock, knowing I'm on an island. Like the only way I can
physically and metaphorically,
like I have to get to it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I look up and I see an American bald eagle.
I reach up and
I reach up and
fly me to Seattle.
Kept me.
Did I tell you this story? So then
I've said this on
told
the
this
show.
right when that eagle flew me from Bainbridge Island to Seattle today.
I look up and it's circling like this, and right as I kind of lock eyes with it,
take me, just like
right as I lock eyes with it, it just dive bombs down.
Wow.
Into the rocks, into a mob of fucking seagulls who are clearly housing this giant fish, and he comes down, or she, and you just hear all the seagulls like go fucking ape shit. They start all squawking, and out of this huge fucking pile of seagulls,
cacophony,
this like giant eagle comes with
apex predator,
the biggest fucking salmon in between its fucking claws, like
talons
arcing up. I was
like,
just like, it was
you
like
missed the show, and like flew away. What I did, you went, you laid in that salmon. You were like, just fucking take me, just end this. Got nude and laid in the salmon and waited to be picked away.
Someone saved me. I believe it was a girl who I met at the airport coming there, who gave me a ride from the airport with her mom to the hotel and venue, who I think I then called, if I'm not mistaken, and begged to take me to the airport, which allowed me to catch an island hopper to put me kind of back on schedule.
Wow.
And I did make it.
That's amazing.
But I mean, this was a eagle hitting salmon chum right there, right? I mean, this is what we're talking about.
We don't see anymore now.
I saw this. And
so now who gets to see that?
See
you have to be on a farm next to cow placenta waiting. God, I can't believe I got left out in the woods for that ceremony. Wish I could get to the next ceremony. Oh, wow. You guys like fish? You can't have that no more, huh? Salmon. I know that people that eat fish fucking love salmon. So I would imagine that they do. They've been eating it.
And now they're eating placenta?
And now they're eating just,
like cow
doesn't
booger?
seem like,
cow
like
mucus?
The cow placenta, it just, if I put a delicious plate of salmon that had Samantha present it to you, and then I was like, wait, I'm going to make my dish. And I came in and I gave you the same vintage dining plate.
I mean, veal tartare? I mean, this would probably be considered a delicacy in some places, this down
But
calf.
I'm not talking about, I go in and I scoop what they're eating. Whatever they're eating, I scoop it with my hand and I put it on a plate. And I hand it, I cook it. I put it in a skillet, of course. I mean, you smelled what I did earlier.
What the fuck was that about?
Let's just say I'm not good in the kitchen. It's not my, I would not say that is my, I've never purported to be. I don't find.
No, but this would be maybe not good, might be putting it mildly.
I just don't know the
inept?
Physics, the mechanics of heat.
Would you say you're inept in the kitchen?
I would say I'm not winning any television competition cooking shows.
Would you know how to make pancakes? Could you make me pancakes without following a recipe right now? Could you be like,
I don't even know what that.
No,
what? No, no. I am not the best.
Could you fry an egg?
Yeah, I guess you would just crack it and put it in the thing. I could probably do that, right? Crack it and put it in the thing.
You never used to make yourself eggs?
Yeah, but I mean, you smelled what I don't know what I did. It's a lot though. There's oils and there's heat. I'm not a math major over here. What the fuck? A new study that I have just read is telling me in this journal, this abstract.
What if you took a cooking class?
I don't want to. I'm not into it. There's so many. I don't have that where people say like, no, it's meditative or you might like it.
No, I'm not talking about that. I don't find it meditative.
I don't want to
make yourself pasta.
No, I have no desire to like. It's just like there's 100 things I would rather do than go learn how to make you an egg.
That hurts my feelings.
35 things.
That hurt my feelings.
Well, listen, no. I'll go and I'll get you an egg and prepare and have it prepared however you want it prepared.
No, the convenience, I would think the convenience of being able to provide that for yourself would enable you to, at times, not even leave the house for like anything.
That's great.
And I mean, and like I don't enjoy making pasta, but I like being at home and realizing like, I'm so hungry and like I don't have to leave the house right now. I just have to make pasta. And like 6 minutes later, I'm like still back. I'm really like back on the thing. I mean, this is not difficult stuff we're talking about. There's no skill involved.
Yeah.
Nor does there have to be like genuine enjoyment involved. But
What about a hatred? How do you get over like an anger? I don't even like to walk. I don't even like to go get coffee because it's in the kitchen. I would prefer if the Mocha Master was in the living room and we put a microwave in there and I could just heat it up.
You don't like the kitchen.
The kitchen scares me. A study told me that body language tells us, quote, surprisingly little about whether or not someone is being honest. And that doesn't sound right, does it?
Body language, but what about like
surprisingly little? But they weren't talking about it in terms of a court of law. They were just meant just in general. But you see that shit all
the studies all the time and say, oh yeah, you watch him like
it doesn't even have to. Yeah, I don't have to be like a poker. I mean, he
his
always
tells or whatever.
Yeah, always itches his neck on when he has aces. You talk to people, you know when they're fucking lying.
Or maybe it's all in the face. Maybe people now have been good. They're good enough
they
at
can
lying that
freeze
they
their
still
body,
their
like
bodies.
paralyze their bodies.
Go still.
Yeah. So then, like,
I don't know,
she
man.
wanted to fuck me, so I had to. You know, it's crazy. Supermodels. Why are you like? It's wild,
still.
man. It's wild, man. Because Victoria didn't have a secret. I found it out. You know what I mean, right? Oh, my body's frozen. Because you don't want to give it away, man. You got to. It's all in the face. But I think it's people just be lying. So for me, it's just like, that's a tell because it doesn't matter what they do. I'll just attribute whatever movement they make because they're lying.
The chances are they're lying anyway.
You flip the napkin over.
That's a tell.
Got your tell. Sorry. So you were late for work.
But are we getting better at it?
At lying or telling? Or both?
No, at lying.
Well, we're doing it more. So maybe it's not that we're getting better. It's just... If everything is a falsehood, then
no one.
It's all a tell. Then what is it?
It's all
a tell.
Yeah.
So your study is
not
sorry. This is the Old Man of the Mountain, also called the Great Stone Face, was a series of 5 granite cliff ledges on Cannon Mountain in Franconia, New Hampshire. They appeared to be the jagged profile of a human face when viewed from the north. The rock formation, 1,200 feet above Profile Lake, was 40 feet tall and 25 feet wide. It's kind of hard to tell, but can you see that rock face that was in Franconia, New Hampshire? From the side, profile looks like a face. The Old Man of the Mountain is called Stone Face by the Abenaki and is a symbol within their culture. It is also the symbol of the Mohawk people. The first written mention of the Old Man was in 1805. It became a landmark and a cultural icon for the state of New Hampshire. It's on state license plates everywhere in New Hampshire, like the Old Man of the Mountain. You know, you go into a store, there's pictures of it in the windows. It's pretty,
Seen it in person, yes?
Yeah. It collapsed in May of 2003. So after its collapse, residents considered replacing it with a replica, but the idea was ultimately rejected because it's just, it is what it is. It's right. It ain't gonna last forever. But a New Hampshire state representative, Representative Tim Cahill, he's a Republican, representing Rockingham, New Hampshire. He got up and he said, he's drawing some criticism. Let's just say that. The Old Man Falling, this was 19 years ago. Again, keep in mind that this didn't just happen in like New Year's and we're still like, fuck! People that I've been, you do see it. It's a thing. The Old Man Falling was akin to the Twin Towers.
Oh boy.
Dim for many of the Granite State and around the world.
Again.
The Granite State!
Maybe.
Deaf.
Like
Deaf.
2 people.
License plates. No, it's good. It's good. You go into like a liquor store, a packy. The world? You know how many Germans are cracked up about that?
But also, like,
I went into Berlin.
Know how bummed everybody would be if a bunch of crazy Islamic terrorists flew a plane into a rock
into the Old Man. Like, no. But dog, when I was in Berlin, telling everybody 19 years about the Old Man,
they were like,
shut up, get out.
I don't want to talk about an inside job. Let's talk about.
Yeah,
Old Man in the Mountain.
Yeah. Rock Formation 6. What about that? Groans could be heard in the room as Cahill made the comment. The remarks came amid a debate in the legislature on whether to recognize the anniversary of the Rock Formation's demise as Old Man of the Mountain Day in New Hampshire, which is it's
That's
great.
not even that's a
so
different story.
Simple. It's just like the Old Man Day. That's great. You could do a fucking festival, a parade. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. More than 2,600 people died in New York City on September 11, 2001, when terrorists flew jet airlines into the World Trade Center. Comparatively, they said that no one was actually hurt in Franconia on May 3rd, 2003. That's a big distinction too. If 2,000 people were looking at it,
He did say a kin.
and it came and killed all of them, like, look at, that would be crazy. Then you would know in Berlin, because they'd be like, oh, that was crazy.
Oh, the
Remember
Old
that
Man in the Mountain
the
massacre.
rock, and it killed 2,500 Franconian New Hampshireans.
Took out Franconia.
One state representative called Cahill's remarks quite offensive.
Yeah, I would find them.
So Tim is he's mad. He said, you listen to me. All over the world. All over the what? People love to like take their thing, which is a real thing. I've seen it. I live right next door in
And
Massachusetts.
because it's available.
And they like to make it in their thing.
Well, they know it's available to the whole world on the internet. So they assume.
So who's not to say that in Paris they don't say, you know what happened 19 years ago? You know, in schools in Paris, they have May 3rd off every year. What?
Man in the Mountain.
Yeah,
Day.
the Man in the Mountain, when he killed 3,000 people, like Pearl Harbor or something. So now we have in Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Uh-oh. Do you have a rock formation?
We had
Uh-oh. Again.
Yeah, the worshipping oak tree located on the grounds of the Buttonwoods Museum on Water Street overlooking the beautiful Merrimack River.
Was this a tree
was
that looked like it was collapsed onto its knees?
It was on its knees like Tim Tebow. We called it the Tim Tebow tree.
Trebo. Tim Trebo.
It was Tim Tebow. And we would dress up. Now, the first Puritan settlers, they gathered to pray freely under this massive oak tree in 1640.
To who?
To their God.
Wiccan.
To their Wiccan, their Midsommar ways.
Wiccan God.
That fell in 2017. It was a huge deal because it had been there since 1640. So that was a huge fucking deal. I don't know if any representatives in the Massachusetts legislature from Haverhill are likening that to the Twin Towers.
So they should put one of
Put
those
a 5G. Put up a 5G
the one that
tower.
looks like a tree.
Looks like a tree. Worship this. Worship you new technical God. You Puritans.
Altar.
All worship the altar of your new technical AI God.
altar.
It's your 5G altar.
The old kneeling tree.
You know that old thing. Pray to it. Pray to your AI overlords. If they could have thought in 1640 what we'd be doing in 2023 in that same spot, they'll be praying to this tree forever. I bet in 2023. And now you got a bunch of fucking little emo Haverhill kids with skateboards praying to their 5G overlord. But that's a long time, 1640.
Good for them. I mean,
A beautiful tree.
Oak?
A massive oak.
What did they do with this fallen oak?
It fucking fell in the fucking street. They had to clean that shit up. Actually,
they should have repurposed it.
They did. They cut some of it up, and you got little
benches and whatnot.
Yeah, benches and whatnot.
Tributes.
I have a little piece of
pendant.
Pendant on my
Joe's got a
my
chair.
necklace. Joe's got a rocking chair. Max has got like a knife.
It's just a
Game
Game Boy holder.
knife.
It's a Game Boy case.
It's for his. It's for his console. We wrapped all of his consoles as a boy in
the kneeling tree remnants.
and the Trebo remnants.
Tim Trebos.
Oh my God, this is akin to the Twin Towers. Tim.
Come on, man.
Tim.
Just make
But
it.
think.
He just wants a day off.
Think before you fucking speak. All over this world.
People
From Franconia,
mourning.
New Hampshire to think what's really far away? Iceland to Reykjavik. They don't fucking know Reykjavik. Jonathan's been there. He asked. They literally do not fucking know. Hey, they have their own shit that was there that ain't there. Right?
They're missing that stuff.
They're missing their like fucking whale tooth that used to be stuck in an old witch's like eyeball. Fuck.
Splenda. Do you still use Splenda?
I don't think so. I don't use no Splenda. No.
Splenda is the #1 low-calorie sweetener.
In all these United States?
Its parent company, Heartland Food Products Group, have officially announced. But wait, hold on a second. Sweet and Low used to be.
Sweet and Low is #1?
That was all there was.
That's all there was, right?
And then there was Equal.
Equal.
Did Equal ever become the #1 artificial sweetener?
888-842-2357. We should make a 3-part doc on that for Peacock.
At what point?
When did it turn? What was the turning point?
What did Splenda usurp to become #1? What did Splenda overtake?
And in what year? HBO Max documentary series.
What year
The
did
Sugar
Splenda
Wars.
It's got to be the Saccharin Wars.
The Saccharin. Give me another S.
The
Saccharin Saga.
Yeah, the Saccharin Saga.
It's a new 6-part documentary from the twisted mind
Super
of
sweet.
Jonathan Preston Larroquette.
Now, they've officially announced the opening of Splenda Stevia Farm, the first ever fully integrated United States-based stevia farm. Now fully operational in Central Florida, the farm aims to produce superior tasting stevia sweetener while building an emerging U.S. agriculture industry and decreasing environmental impact by eliminating unnecessary CO2 emissions caused by current global stevia supply chain operations. The farm's agricultural operations will enable Splenda to domestically produce the best tasting Splenda stevia products and other Splenda sweetened foods and beverages.
Wow.
So is Splenda all stevia?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
At Splenda, quote, our mission is to help people live happier.
Thank you. We need that.
Live healthier and longer lives by making it easier to reduce sugar, by growing higher quality stevia plants and producing better and sweeter tasting stevia sweeteners.
Right here in the United States of America.
We can help consumers achieve their sugar reduction goals, says Ted Gilov, chairman and CEO of Heartland. Additionally, by growing stevia in the U.S., we are helping to build a new America.
Whoa.
Excuse me. Helping to build a new American agriculture industry.
Yes, yeah, you got to do that. Wow. You hear about the new, it's a spinoff.
Make America.
It's a secession
bring
annex.
More farming jobs and economic
United States
prosperity
of Stevia.
to Central Florida. This is a 50...
say billion. It sounds amazing.
It's a $500 billion
project
initial investment. With this $50 million initial investment, until now, all stevia has been grown and processed from markets outside the U.S. Mainly China.
We're going to make it right here, just like our ginseng.
Engineered with our Splenda Stevia farm gives U.S. farmers an opportunity to grow and process stevia right on their own
Jonathan,
farms.
we should move to Florida and become stevia farmers.
Why does it have to be? Couldn't we just grow our own like rogue stevia?
It's
Cali
it's
stevia?
it's the terroir. I think it's really that Florida, that sunshine. We should become
our ultimate
stevia
goal is
farmers.
to help Americans cut unwanted sugar. They're really pushing this.
Well, yeah, they're pushing
Our ultimate goal is to help
Live
Americans
longer, be
cut
happier.
unwanted sugar from their diets.
Live longer.
By 25% or more by the year 2030. That's very good. That's
bold,
extreme.
Bold. New America. United States of Stevia.
Let's see what say they.
Yeah, we're going to live longer. We're going to be happier.
Now,
but
because the farm is fully vertically integrated, Splenda is able to oversee every step of stevia production, from crop propagation to extraction of sweet glycosides.
Yep, from seed to sweetness.
From the leaves. During the farm's innovative process, the stevia leaves are grown from cutting the mother plants, cuttings from mother plants containing the strongest agricultural properties, including the sweetest and best tasting stevia. The leaves are harvested and steeped in fresh water, where the sweet stevia is then extracted with the water and filtered, providing pure stevia glycosides for use in foods and beverages. The result is sweetness without bitterness.
Close your eyes. I'm going to drop some.
Giving consumers high quality and, more importantly, great tasting, low calorie sweeteners grown by U.S. farmers. The clean stevia leaves are pulled from steeping tanks, dried for use as nutrient-rich feed in animal agriculture, promoting a circle of sustainability without creating waste.
Hakuna Matata.
Splenda. Hakuna Matata.
United States of Stevia. I'm a farmer. I'm a stevia farmer.
I'm a
I'd get
Floridian stevia farmer.
my overalls, like a John Deere hat, some fucking boots, go into town, go into Miami,
Get supplies.
get my supplies in Miami, a Cubano.
farming supplies.
No.
My cubanos.
Fuck,
My
man.
cigarillos.
That sounds like innovation and vertical integration and recycling and soil and seed to
you think it's
sweetness.
all bullshit?
I think it's probably a real thing, and right, it's a people
Sounds
real. It's
legit.
$500 billion investment. You said, I think.
mean, I think 50
50 billion,
trillion the
50
first year. Or
trillion
something.
dollars they're expected to make first year. If you want to get in on that, how many fucking people are going to try to get in on that?
Does the sugar industry feel about this? Are they trying to snipe these dudes when they go golfing
man,
and shit?
Big Sugar.
C&H? What are those guys putting hits out on these fools?
Man, you're taking
Maybe
me
they are happy.
You're
Maybe
taking
they
me back.
Maybe they're trying to get the.
You're taking me back to the Sugar
You know-
Museum. I
you
know all
how
about it. I was
cold-blooded those motherfuckers are.
dog. I learned it all. Where's that, up in Maui? Where was I? Sugar Museum?
So I mean, you think that you put it past them to put a knife in one of these guys at one of their lobbying
I
meetings?
saw
or
some
whatever?
saw some shit up in there. I learned some shit up in there. I walked in, I left a different
But
person.
you realize that's just mere years after coming there and completely like that sugar shit. It's just such an insult to injury situation there.
They get pretty rowdy.
It's
on the
not.
islands.
You want to talk about a part of our American history, in our recent American history, that is absolutely and utterly under discussed in this country and in the
That's what I'm
general zeitgeist.
That's just it. I went in as one person. I left as a different person from what I learned.
Atrocity, probably.
I wish I knew
would
about
be-
this when I
not
was in there, and I
probably.
was like, "You motherfuckers are going down because I'm a stevia farmer. You're gonna have to throw me out of this museum."
I mean, you talk about. I don't know. It's crazy.
I'm gonna get in on that.
The Saccharin.
It's gonna be
Wars.
the sweetest. The Saccharin sagas, dog. You kidding me? Give me. I think. What else you have? What else you got over there?
ketamine.
Oh, go right ahead.
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah.
I thought you meant here.
Oh, you mean
I
in
thought you
my?
meant in my bag.
I guess
I thought you
dose
meant-
ketamine.
No. Ketamine wellness centers promised a life-changing method to treat suicidal ideation, depression, and PTSD. But its abrupt closure has left mental health patients in Arizona and 8 other states without access to drugs or therapy.
I was just had a session today at 2. It seems to be lock on the door.
One of
That's
the nation's largest
curious.
chains of ketamine clinics, which started in Phoenix, ceased operating with no advance notice to patients, deadbolting its offices, posting a note on its website, and sending an email. The company provided scant advice to patients who are in the middle of a drug infusion treatment about how to handle being cut off. It also did not provide any information about how to recover hundreds of or thousands of dollars in prepaid costs. The company gave patients a 1-800 number for accessing medical records,
What?
told them that its parent company is to blame for expanding operations too quickly. Quote, due to the inability of, quote, of parent company, Delic, to meet the financial commitments of the rapid expansion, we were forced to abruptly close all clinics and the corporate office. The company said in an email notice to patients, quote, we are ethically and medically required to ensure employees are properly compensated and plan of care is managed appropriately. That plan, as referenced in an attachment, is simply a list of other ketamine clinics in the state where the company operated: Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Illinois, Nevada, Minnesota, Texas, Utah, and Washington.
Hey, just
So-
call 888-842-2357. Just
They'll
call that
sort you
number
out.
and they'll totally sort it out for you. Leave a message, he'll get back. Kind of tough to be kind of deep into your healing and maybe having some positive results that are benefiting you and your loved ones around you. And then you show up at Tuesday and you're like, like what?
Mid-treatment.
Looks like, wait a minute, is that a fax machine? It's sideways on the carpet.
I feel my ideation's returning.
This
all of a
is
sudden.
not a good time. I also actually prepaid to the prepaid is bringing back a lot of ideations. It's turning from this into a murderous rage. Delic.
Sorry for anyone going through that.
Are you going through some shit in your life? Well, don't worry. You prepaid and you don't get your money back. Do you feel better?
Do you feel better?
You must feel better, right?
Gone. Call this number.
888-842-2357. They'll sort you. Just try it.
I think.
But actually, 888-842-2357. If you have been, at least I will talk to you and try to give you some friendship and some help to try to get you through this fucking.
Do you know the details? Or
I don't know how the fuck they get away with that. I tried there was literally no legality.
Okay.
Like I couldn't,
all right.
But I don't know. I couldn't find out in those states how you could how this company had money to open all these clinics and do that. I don't even know how you.
Well, it is.
I don't know how these things because just a pop up.
Well,
it just seems like something that's so serious. Like,
but you
this
are
ain't
talking.
weed.
No, but you are talking about a drug that is already fully integrated into our lives and the world. So it's not
in terms of
it took until the 90s to convince people that there was there was value in possibly medical marijuana.
Okay.
They were giving birthing mothers ketamine in the 80s and the 70s and shit. So it's like you're just a repurposing of something that the medical industry has already deemed safe for humans.
Okay.
You're not going to run into the same legal blockades because this is a medical professional using their medical opinion to try a method of something that is a prescribable thing.
That's in our medical,
trying to be like, no, we need to give these people acid.
Got to take these mushrooms.
It's not a controlled substance.
Yeah.
So
we were giving mushrooms to moms in the 70s and 80s.
That form is not considered a controlled substance. Right? That makes sense. That's why. That's exactly why.
You
could
get your hands on
maybe chase them after them for some medical malpractice stuff.
But I mean, something like that, pretty, you want to.
I can't imagine.
You want it all to be above board with the best of intentions.
Could have at least had a homie sitting there just to at least consult. Don't lock the door. Stick somebody there just to be like,
stick a guy in TVs at the door.
Yeah, somebody just to hug it out.
It or just let's hug it out. What
are you gonna do?
Hit that Del Taco?
Yeah, what do you want?
Yeah, let me help you out here. But
I know
the idea that under the right settings, and we've talked to people, we have friends that have benefited depression from that. But the circumstances of people that I've talked to, they were under the best settings. They felt comfortable from the get with the people. You got to pop up in St. Petersburg, Florida. Don't prepay that and be careful who you're doing this.
But
what the dosage is and who you're doing it with.
Imagine how the dupe that's on in a place that is that fragile, but is also probably purporting to it looked. I mean,
they had a lot of fucking
like you're saying, it's a ketamine they're like, it must be okay, it must be fine. It's like a thing. Like they wouldn't be allowed to look, they have a sign.
Yeah.
It says ketamine on the building. They can't, it has to be okay.
There's a T-Mobile. There's the Dairy Queen.
Free for all.
Can't be in between a Dairy Queen and T-Mobile. It's gotta be legit. Dairy Queen and T-Mobile are huge companies.
Free for all.
But right in the middle. But if you get a good plan, then you get a nice ice cream, and then you roll in and hit that K from this doctor. I mean, somehow they got their hands on the ketamine. So at some point in the chain, hopefully a medical professional got
veterinary school.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Who are you sitting with in there? Vets.
Money hungry vets.
Vets that, they
not
had to get
army vets.
Vets that
veterinarians that get good ketamine.
Had to get out of the business because it was too depressing. So
now
they're just
cheering
for as long as we're in biz.
Cheering dudes up.
As long as we're in business.
Which is like another week.
You prepaid?
Ooh,
shit. Ooh,
man.
Fuck.
Well, what are you
you've
gonna
been
do?
talking a lot about one of the main problems is that you're having some money issues.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
Prepaid?
These aren't going to help.
You get a prepaid? Your catalytic converter got stolen in the parking lot of this Delic? Oh, shit.
I don't know about that. I know that ketamine is absolutely, totally, and
Safe
utterly
and effective.
effective.
Okay.
I would say it seems to me, in my experience, to be relatively safe in comparatively with other drugs that you might ingest or do in the same kind of category.
Okay.
And I have found it to be very, very therapeutic in even the kind of brutal recreational
Settings
form that I
you've
did it.
indulged in.
It's not like me blasting fat lines of it versus sitting in a clinic and having new age music and getting an IV of it are two very different things. I believe that in that setting, it could probably be absolutely and utterly like mind altering, opening, and healing.
Healing is the key.
Because I've felt renewed from even, like I said, kind of party type sessions like that. I mean, there was a good chunk of time there where I was doing a lot of it for extended periods of time. And
so if you sat down,
it was definitely helping with my depression at that point.
You sat down with a like suspended veterinarian, you'd really, her and her boyfriend.
Sesh out.
Is my boyfriend.
And I never got to get it in its good
in its
liquid
truest
form.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you
want.
Yeah. You want it just a little, put a little stevia right at the top.
Just the purest,
it's so
cleanest.
Because it's
top American
the
stevia.
Notes are bitter
Floridian stevia. UID.
Floridian stevia
farm. Vertical farming.
CDC wanted to let you know that tick-borne disease is on the rise. Black-legged ticks are tiny organisms that can cause Lyme disease and other health problems. Babesiosis is a disease spread by ticks that mainly affects people in the Northeast and Upper Midwest.
So it's the same place. Wait, is that a scientific term for Lyme disease?
Babesiosis is a disease spread by ticks.
But that is different from Lyme disease? Because Lyme disease is also spread by ticks. But I believe Lyme disease is spread by deer ticks, which also only exist in those two areas. But they have other ticks. So I was just wondering if this is a different tick disease. Because our ticks out here are ticks, but we don't get Lyme disease from them, or certainly don't get them nearly as much. And I don't believe we have deer ticks on the West Coast.
Our ticks don't cause that.
I don't think they cause Lyme disease. So what I'm asking is if that other one is something that they do cause.
Babesiosis is a disease spread by ticks that mainly affects people in the Northeast and Upper Midwest. It causes cases which can cause fever and joint pain. They've risen in the last decade over 25%. And apparently what this says, this case is being reported that this summer is what they're telling us to be. I would say...
Have you ever had a tick on you?
No, and I never will, because I do not want to find myself in these places where that can happen.
The woods?
The woods. I mean, what good can come from the woods?
All good comes from the woods.
That's right. We have to get back to fucking
food,
nature. Fractals,
LSD,
babesiosis,
monkeys,
Lyme
birds.
disease. Haven't gone out of bed in 6 months. Remember that one time you got me to go fucking look at the trees? I haven't left my bed in 6 months. Thanks again. Nature. I could have stayed home and watched that movie. Could have stayed home and watched that movie and then been alive for 6 months. Now I'm too sick and my joints ache and they're pain. But I saw that tree. Remember the tree I saw? Worth every minute of this joint pain. It was a big tree and it was brown and it had bark and I'd never seen it before. Oh, that hurts just to point my finger up at where it would be. Joint pain. Fuck that. Yeah, you got to go, or just go in full beekeeper. Just beekeeper it and then enjoy it. Like, I'm loving this. I'm hot.
But I'm enjoying
this. You're right.
I'm freely enjoying
You're
this.
right. That's bark.
Okay. Fine.
Because
not worth the risk for you.
It just
not
seems
worth the risk.
Anything
seems risky. Too risky.
Yeah, immunologically, like autoimmune joint, like fevers, tired. That's just
exhaustion and stuff.
That when people
like
have that stuff,
bedridden shit.
That's
like
this kind of stuff.
I had to go to the bathroom and then I slept for 3 days.
Oh yeah, when I pissed. It really took it out of me. I
had to sleep for 14
I missed you this
hours.
weekend. Well, I pissed on Friday.
So that's why.
So when the urine comes out my dick, I sleep till Monday. But the tree was gorgeous. The bark was the barkiest bark it was ever barked. And there was like branches. Like you remember when you were a kid?
And there was branches?
Leaves. And it was tall. And I pointed at it.
Ow! It didn't hurt.
My shoulder and elbow and wrist and finger.
Oh, my
Why does
joint.
my finger hurt? Because you looked at a tree.
Because you have babiosis.
Because you have babiosis. Could have just watched a movie. Fuck. This is... Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Episode 975 of our comedy podcast. Cannot thank you enough that you've been with us and so supportive that it's allowed us to do 975 episodes of this show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
17
you to everyone
years
who
in.
listens, who
So we're looking at
pledges, who
I guess we're looking
tells
at
a friend
it's
who
April 2023. It's spring. It's a time of renewal of spirit.
Yeah.
And we're this is really like everything's good. Everything's good for all of us. It's April and May and then the summer and we're good. We're good. It's going to be good. But yeah, 975 episodes of Yeah, Dude. 888-842-2357. That was the number that
UID@me.com
that was the number
is
that Delic emailed to their prepaid clients.
UID@me.com is my email. You can email me directly there.
Shit.
Go to our Patreon page, pledge
Do
to
we
the
give
show.
it 1-800-Flowers? Oh, we gave them all the number for 1-800-Flowers.
If they all send it to each
if
other.
they all sent each other flowers, does that make you feel better? And not as good as the K.
Probably not as
But
good as
these
that
are
sweet K.
Beautiful sunflowers, but
That
I'm
pure K, though,
I'm
is
very
kind of beating it, though.
anxious about
Still
not
anxious.
no K. No K.
Now,
Damn, I can't believe they can get away with that.
it's cruel.
It's insane to take people's fucking lives, literally people that are finding themselves in a place where they're really there because they're finding themselves in a very difficult position in their lives, and they're seeking out something that they think might benefit them, and to have that done seems like it shouldn't. It seems like that if the company is allowed to start, they would have to be allowed to finish or not be able to just like
not be able to, like you're saying, if you
can't finish, you can't start.
Or that there has to be some other agency, if you will,
Ketamine agency
that comes in.
The government needs to start
like,
a ketamine agency, and you need to head that. I'm working for the government. I used to be a Stevia farmer. I now work for the Department of Justice, the DOJ Ketamine Department, CSI.
DOJK.
You know us. Crackdowns. We go from state to state and we fucking regulate.
CSI. Ketamine.
Kidding me? Fuck.
My name is Jonathan. This is Seth.
You know what they say. They say,
what do they say?
we didn't come here to play. We came here to slay.
K.
We didn't come here to play. We came here to do K. Seatbelts.
Seatbelts.